among around 4,000 university in Indonesia. I think in Indonesia we have many university, yeah. So 4,000 university in Indonesia. The PERBANAS currently facilitate around 2,500 students to be a successful around professional 4,000 in business and banking. We have 6 program study, namely management, accounting, and Sharia economy. We are going to transform now from college to be university in this year. And we are adding 3 program study program, namely information technology, information system, and visual communication design. So we hope that in this year we will be a university. And Magister Management is master degree program facilitating professionals who want to enhance their career in business and banking by 2-year program. Ladies and gentlemen, in this moment, special thanks go to Dr. Luciana Spica Almeida, Head of Quality Assurance. She is the Head of Quality in STIE PERBANAS Surabaya, for becoming moderator in this conference, also for all of Magister Management Program team in organizing this conference. My special thanks go also to faculty members, students, and all participants, not only from Indonesia, but also from other countries for participating in this occasion. Hopefully, it will give you beneficial insight and be useful for you and for your university. Finally, allow me on behalf of the big family of STIE PERBANAS Surabaya to wish you a fruitful and pleasant the international conference. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for the insightful speech, Dr. Yudi Sukarso.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Yudi Sukarso. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now entering the next agenda that is for the session.
Ladies and gentlemen, now I would like you to turn on your camera.
Okay. Please, Aisha, you count it and the admin will take a picture of it.
Okay, let me count in 3, 2, 1, and smile.
Okay, thank you.
Are we
everybody.
finished? Okay, thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now entering the next agenda, which is introduction of the keynote speaker. But first, I will ask the admin for showing the CV of keynote speaker. Okay. Our first keynote speaker today is Professor Dr. Tatik Suryani. She completed her undergraduate of psychology at Airlangga University. She also completed her Master of Management at Airlangga University. She also completed her doctoral degree of management at Airlangga University.
Her work experience are as a lecturer in STIE PERBANAS Surabaya, Head of Magister Management Department in STIE PERBANAS Surabaya, Facilitator of Quality Assurance in Higher Education and Training, and President of STIE PERBANAS Surabaya from 2006 until 2014. Her achievements are Outstanding Asian Research Leader Award, Asian Research Advocacy Award, and Global Research Advocacy Award.
The second keynote speaker today is Professor Dr. Catalino N. Mendoza. He has been in academic for at last 23 years, an academic consultant, model designer and developer, writer, professor or rector, research editor, thesis and dissertation consultant. He has credited almost 2 doctoral degrees of management science, Doctor of Philosophy in Human Resource Management, and a candidate for Doctor of Business Administration. He also awarded in 2009 International Business and Economic Research and International Teaching and Learning Research Conference held in Las Vegas, Nevada, USA last October 5 until 7 in 2009, and published book entitled Human Resource Management Practice in the Philippines and Phenomenological Study on the Philippine Woman at 40 in Germany by Lambert Academy Publishing Company on August 2012 and August 2013.
He is now working as the Vice President of Icgpe Incorporation and consultant for human resource management and operations of Triasia Electrical Supplies and Wellgrown Electrical Supply Manufacturing. Professor in the Graduate School of St. Paul University, Surigao, Professor in the Graduate School of the Philippine Christian University, former Director for Publications, Research, Linkages, and Liaison. Associate Dean and Professor of the Graduate School, Professor in the College of Business and Accountancy, College of Engineering and College of Tourism and Hospitality Management, College of Criminal Justice and College of Education in the University of Batangas, Philippines.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now entering the next agenda, which is the presentation from the first keynote speaker, Professor Dr. Tatik Suryani.
For Professor Dr. Tatik Suryani, time is yours.
Okay, thank you for the moderators, Ponta and also ICE, as the Master of Ceremony in the International Conference today. The Honorable, my President, the Rector of STIE PERBANAS Surabaya, all distinguished speakers in International Conference today, Professor Dr. Catalino N. Mendoza from City College of Angeles, Philippines, and also the Honorable Associate Professor Dr. Razimah Jamaluddin from University Science of Malaysia, the Honorable Dr. Lee T. Lin Chiang from Ho Chi Minh University, Vietnam, and my best friends, Associate Professor Dr. Juwari from STI PERBANAS Surabaya, and also he is the President of International Association of Scholarly Publisher, Editors, and Reviewers, and the Honorable Associate Professor Dr. Luciana Spika Almelia. Today, she is moderators, and all participants in the great conference. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Peace be unto you and good morning for all. In the great international conference, I would like to share about fostering quality culture in higher education. Let me show the PowerPoint. And my presentation, the outline is like that. Firstly, I would like to share about why quality and quality assurance are very important in higher education. And the second, why higher education should foster the quality culture. And I think this is the essential of my sharing today. And how to foster a quality culture, and then conclusions. Okay. Every higher educations, I think the managers do believe that improving the quality is very important. And if we read in many journals, the issue how to create a quality culture have already discussed in many journals. And also in Indonesia, I think it is also the important issue today. Why quality is very important. Yeah. Like Indonesia, we can see the developments of quality in Indonesia. Sorry. Since 2003, when the government of Republic Indonesia established the national education system, the quality assurance become the obligations for all level education in Indonesia. And then further, the government also established the national standards for higher educations. The latest is the law in decree from the Education and Culture Minister, number 3, 2020, is about national standard for higher educations. And every university, every college or higher education system in Indonesia should comply with the education national standard. When we read the review of development of the quality, we see that we can summarize that there are 5 reasoning why quality for higher education is very important. First is the reason is because on the increase of autonomy from governments. Every governments in many countries push the higher education to have a capacity for a long time, and also to be autonomous in manage the university. And the institutional autonomy is very important. It is a what do you call a precondition for promoting internal quality. And the second is increase the demand of accountability of higher education. Like in Indonesia, also every university should must comply with the many standard and report about the accountability for the management of the educational services. And the third is because of sustainability. I think that all university want to be exist for the long time, and it's mean that for existing, it needs trust from public. And if we are talking about trust, yeah, it can be rise from the quality. Yeah, if public trust, if we serve with high quality, public will trust to our educational services. And the fourth issue is because of the increase of globalization. Globalization leading to the emergence of competitor in favor of safe national markets, as well as a trend towards the marketization of higher educations. And the last is the issues about internalization. Yeah, as we know that now faculty members, students, and our partners, yeah, from many countries, there is a cross-border partnership. And if we want to make this program, usually the other university use quality standard to be as a partner. So that's why quality is very important for us. What is about quality? Yeah, I think everybody here know well about the quality. The concept of quality is multi-dimension concept, but in this session, I would like to refer Scrinder that already formulates from reviewing many journals about the quality. There are 4 perspectives about quality concept. Firstly, from purposeful viewing or purposeful side. Quality here means that if we are talking about the quality of higher education, we can see from how far the university or the higher education conform to a state mission or visions, and also specifications or requirement or a standard. It is the first concept from purposeful view, and the second is exceptional view. Yeah. And this concept that uh, quality can be measured from achieving distinction and exclusivity through the fulfillment of high standard. So if uh, we are talking about this quality from exceptional side, it's mean that we uh, check, we see how about the uh, achievement of the university. Yeah, it is beyond the standard or under the standard. And the third is very interesting view because it's view the quality from the process. It's transformative side. Uh, they focus that quality can be seen from the effect positive change in a student learning and personal and professional potential. So yeah, good quality university, they can manage well how the teaching and learning process and how they do the certification to make the graduates become competent. And is from the accountability side. Yeah. Here that quality can be seen from the accountability of the university to fulfill the stakeholder expectations. So like how they utilize the resources, how they utilize the, for example, the facilities to uh, enable students to be uh, a good learner like this. This is about accountability. And the concept of quality actually related with the quality assurance. So that's why every university, and also from the obligation perspective, should be establish the quality assurance and also do quality assurance in managing university. If we look the concept about quality assurance, I refer from CAFE that quality assurance is a holistic approach. So it is not about only teaching and learning process, yeah, but also it's cover all activity in university for maintain and ensure that quality uh, what is the quality enable of all the activity to achieve the goals. And if we refer the concept here that uh, all the activity in quality assurance actually is to serve the student and all stakeholder expectations, and also based on the standard, uh, of course. Here, I would like to introduce how about the quality assurance in Indonesia higher educations. Maybe almost the same with my friends from Philippines, I think. When we discussed with in international conference, yeah, I think we are almost the same how the system in our country. In Indonesia, national, there is a higher education quality assurance system, and every higher education in Indonesia should be comply with the system. Yeah, we have a regulation from our ministry, Ministry Education and Culture of Republic Indonesia in decree of number 3 2020. It's about national standard in higher education. And every university refer to the law of 2012, that every university should have a internal quality assurance system. Maybe all participants from abroad familiar with PDCA. In Indonesia, we call the PPAPP process. It's actually almost the same, but more detailed, I think, because the internal quality system should be start by planning, establishment of the standard, and then we implement the standard, we conduct the standard, and then we evaluate we evaluate the standard. It is by audit mechanism and also by monitoring periodically, and then we should controlling the finding of the audit, and then we improving the standard. So if the cycles of the PPEPP in this Indonesian concept, yeah, it's mean that we do quality assurance well. And our quality, internal quality assurance system also be evaluated by the external uh, quality assurance system. Yeah, we have a national accreditation board who check about how far the quality implementation in our university, and all the system it's supported by database center. Yeah, it's managed by the Ministry of uh, Culture and Educations. And if we run well the quality assurance systems from time to time, yeah, it can make we have a good culture in quality. Now, how to foster the quality culture? In this concept, I would like to use the what is the tools and management strategy. I use the McKinsey framework to foster quality culture in higher educations. Maybe if you are from management, you are very familiar with the concept, and I use these tools to uh, to create or to develop to foster the quality in our higher educations. According to McKinsey framework, we see that there are an organization. There are two big components. There's a hard system and a soft system. The hard system is a strategy, structure, and system itself. And for the soft organization system, is about skill, staff style. Style mean the leadership style, and then shared value. Shared value is the culture. And if we look here, that shared value is the center of in the framework. It's mean that it is very important because the influence can be spread all of the element of the organization. Now, how to foster the quality by the McKinsey framework tools? Firstly, we should develop the strategy. Yeah, strategy formulation is very important to support the quality orientations, I think. So, organizations should make in strategic planning have and also formulate the standard to make the quality happen. Yeah. And it is very important because strategy as a tools for building and maintaining competitive advantage for the higher education. So the strategy should be based on quality. For example, we have a strategy that customer focus or customer quality as the goals of the strategy. And the second is structure. Structure is about how the university is structuring the job authority, responsibility, and decision-making process. So we should have a clear mechanism and everything should be standardized, and we have a procedure to do that. Yeah, it means that it's not only the document system, but also how the communications flow in organization conducted. And now the other element is the system. System here, because we are talking about the quality culture to foster the quality system. Here is the internal quality assurance system. Yeah, we have a policy in quality. We have a standard. We have also manual procedure, and also we evaluate the system. And also the two elements again is about staff and skill. Yeah, uh, both of them maybe should be improved. Yeah, it should be improved from time to time in order more compatible with the target of quality of the university. It's about a faculty member and so staff. Yeah, they should motivate and we should pay the commitment from them to learn and also to adapt with the quality uh, quality environments. Yeah. Okay. And now the six of the elements of the uh, organizations in higher education is about style. Yeah, style if means here if leader. I think if in total quality management also mentioned that leaders is very important to build or to foster the quality culture. So what the leader do here? Yeah, this is I think very tactically, very practice. Leaders should have the integrity, yeah, walk the talk. So action is more important than words. Yeah, the leaders should do what they talk to the faculty member and also to the students and also for the academic staff. And the important also about the communications. Yeah, I put the communication until three times: communication, communication, and communication. So like socialization, how we discuss together, how we talk to each other about the quality. It's okay to talk about quality in our campus. I think it's a good atmosphere to foster the quality culture. And then it's better also that manager apply the management by wandering around. Yeah, so the top leader or the middle of the managers often uh, visit to the staff to see their job and know what the problems, yeah, to improve the quality. And the most important thing to support the leadership style for fostering quality is speak with data. So data is very important. We can good decision if we supported by the data. So we can write decisions. And developing team or working groups to share about the best practice from the department. I think also very important to make every body learn about the quality. And now the last, yeah, this is what our mixed in the about share values. Yeah, share value. Share value is the central in the seven McKinsey framework. And if we want to foster the culture, it is very important for all organization member to build a commitment and also to conduct the standard to hold with the values for delivering the education services. And it is also important because the situations is very dynamic and very competitive. So how we create the organizational learning to enable of the organization member learn about how to improve the quality here is very important. If we looks this picture, yeah, it's that from top management, yeah, the top management have an important role to facilitate the bottom. Yeah, it's mean, for example, if the head of the faculty, yeah, they should communicate and energize or the faculty members to build the quality in teaching learning process, or maybe in research, or maybe in community services. Yeah, it become better to foster the quality culture. Okay, and now for the end of my presentations, that if we want to make a strong culture, yeah, it is very important if we make a good plan to do this, because quality is never accident. Quality is by designs, and it should be involved of the organization members, and also we should have a high commitment, because it needs extra efforts and persistent to do it. Okay, thank you very much. I hope that every university and all of us have significant contributions as the member of the organization to make quality become better and better in our campus. Okay, thank you very much and good morning. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for the insightful speech, Professor Dr. Tati Suryani.
Okay, thank you, Professor Dr. Tati Suryani. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now entering the next agenda, which is presentation from the second keynote speaker, Professor Dr. Catalino N. Mendoza.
For Professor Dr. Catalina Mendoza, time is yours.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. So I'll be talking about quality, a model of quality. Yes, I'll be talking about a model of quality teaching and learning environment. So we will be talking here about the quality systems in the Philippines, more specifically in the higher learning institution. So to begin with, success can be heard from the loud silence. So come to think of it. Silence or success can be heard from the loud silence. Okay. If you are familiar with what you are experiencing nowadays as a successful people, successful individual, or successful organization, success can be attained through word of mouth of the students that we are catering every now and then. So that is why success can be heard from the loud silence. All you have to do is to implement the quality or the standards of your institutions to be able to cater the needs and the wants of these students of higher learning institution. Okay. So this is the simulacrum of my research. Basically, I'll be discussing the output of my research in the Philippines that talks about the development of a certain model of which can be used to be able to standardize the quality learning and teaching in the Philippines in higher education institution. So as you can see at the middle of this triangle is the HEIs, or the higher education institutions. Basically surrounded with the QLS, or the quality learning standards, DNV, or the nurturing values of the institution. And also, of course, the what we call EC. Okay. Then, if you're familiar with the quality of your institution, I am sharing with you the developments of the quality teaching and learning environment about the select colleges and universities in the Philippines, and the level of nurturing values of education among students. Very important for the students to learn intensively, because the ultimate goal of any organization, specifically higher education institution, is quality education. Okay. So specifically, the level of quality learning standards and the reliability, responsiveness, empathy, assurance, and facilities and equipment of the institution. We should provide everything that the students need. So that is why even our hearts should be given to them through empathy, understand the problem. How can we respond to the needs of the students? Provide them the quality teaching. Reliability in the sense that once we deliver the message to our students, they can easily adapt it. Okay? And the prevailing educational climate to productivity, school processes, students, caring and learning and growth of the students as well. And also, of course, based on my study, the level of nurturing value of education as to nurturing. For a while, okay. And curriculum feedback mechanism, affordability and social mobility. And lastly, the significant relationship of the quality learning standards, educational climate, and the nurturing values. So if you are familiar, if you are used to the quality system in your organization, more specifically, you are supposed to measure how these variables, how these things are being related to one another. Let's say, for example, the quality learning standards. From the time that the students learn from the instruction given by the teachers, being evaluated by the students on how the teacher are being prepared when they are delivering the message. Okay? So, as a method, this study utilized the triangulation method, of which cross-examined the results of both descriptive and qualitative research, statistics on the SPSS packages, and the respondents of the students, because we are supposed to measure their acceptance on how we deliver the message to them. And also, of course, population from the Philippines at STIEs. Okay, as a summary of results, because this is how we, together with my partner in this research, develop a model of quality learning and teaching. So the study found out that there is a high correlations among quality learning standards processes, the medium level, and the educational climate, the high level, and the nurturing value, the high level, as evidently supported by statistical tests using analysis of variance, the person-product moment correlation, and the multiple regression analysis. What is that? Hello? Okay. Somebody's interrupting my presentation. Sorry. So the quality learning standards, educational climate, and nurturing values are really interrelated to one another, meaning quality teaching and learning environment cannot be considered standards if one of the elements will be left behind. As one element increases, the other two will also be increased. And as you can see, based on the presentations of the data, not the data, but the summary of the results, that the quality learning standards is dependent on the educational climates and nurturing values. That is exactly the same thing when it comes to educational climates related to quality learning standards and nurturing values. As the value of nurturing values increases, the quality learning standards and educational climate are also increases. So it means these three things are very interrelated to one another. And as a conclusion, in the Philippines, all members of the Philippine educational institutions in all levels should observe the proposed model of quality teaching and learning. So what is that model? Later, I'll be giving you the model that we have deduced from this particular research study. It must be supported by the institutional policies, the vision, the mission, the goals and objectives, as its building blocks to maintain competitive in the education industry, preparing the graduates to be equipped with the necessary skills needed in the Industry Revolution 4.0. Take note of that. The ultimate goal of any organization is for our students, the clientele, even the parents of our students should support what the vision and the missions of the organization or of the institution. It is basically delivering the message, delivering the quality standards, meaning the employability of the students. And also, of course, when they are already employed, they can apply what they have learned from our institution. And that exactly how reliable the quality standard should be. Okay? So, this is the deduced model of quality teaching and learning. And as you can see there is what we call the institutional policy are being supported. So, it is basically supporting the EC or the nurturing values, the quality learning, and economic, the environmental culture. So as you can see there, as a legend, the IP is the institutional policies of which the vision, the mission, and the goals are being established. This is where the institution is heading to. Okay? So, and as you can see there, it is in a same inequality when it comes to the quality standards. It is because it depends on how the students, how the customers, how the parents perceive the quality. Once that they continuously supporting your institution, the quality standards prevails. And that will be all. Thank you for listening. Anyone? Any question? So I made it very simple and very short presentation. It is because I know somebody are still waiting for their presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for this helpful speech, Ms. Professor Dr. Catalino Mendoza.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now entering the next agenda, which is the introduction of moderator. Our moderator today is Associate Professor Dr. Luciana Spika Almilia. She completed her undergraduate of accounting at STIE PERBANAS Surabaya. She also completed her Master of Accounting at Gadjah Mada University, and she completed her doctoral degree of accounting also at Gadjah Mada University.
Her profession is the head of quality assurance. She is also certified of quality internal audit and certified of statement of financial accounting standard. So for the next agenda, it will be guided by a moderator. For Dr. Luciana Spika Almilia, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Ponta and Ice. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the International Conference on the Global Perspective of Education, entitled Quality-Based Education for Creating Higher Employability. Before the presentation begins, allow me to introduce the three speakers. Our first speaker is Associate Professor Dr. Razima Jamaluddin. She has been working at the University since Malaysia for the past 26 years, since 1994. Her major is in e-learning and web-based instructions. And for the second speaker is Dr. Thi Lin Giang from the Center for Quality Management, Ho Chi Minh City University, Vietnam. And our last but definitely not least speaker is Associate Professor Dr. Juari. He is head of a language laboratory STIE PERBANAS Surabaya, Indonesia, and president of International Association of scholarly publisher, editors, and reviewers. For the question and answer will be conducted by writing in the chat room. So I will be read the questions in the chat room. So please, the participant, if you have questions, so please write in the chat room. Okay, I would like to welcome for our first speaker, Associate Professor Dr. Razima Jamaluddin. She will deliver a presentation entitled Multimedia for Enhancing Education Process. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Associate Professor Dr. Razima Jamaluddin. And time is yours. So for the presentation is 20 minutes for each speaker. So please, Dr. Razima, to present the presentations. Hello.
Dr. Jamaluddin, your mic, please.
Yes, you have
your mic. Okay, yes. No, your mic, please. I cannot hear your voice.
Can you hear?
Yes, okay. That's right. Good.
All right. Okay. How about the slides?
Yeah, share. And then share.
Share screen.
At the bottom there is a share.
Share screen.
And then find your document. Yes, okay. Go on.
Hang on.
Have you shared?
Share.
That's okay.
Can you see?
Yes.
Can you see? Okay.
Yes.
I make it full screen. Can you see this one?
Yes. Okay.
All right. Okay. Good. Okay. Good. Okay. Assalamualaikum and very good morning from Penang, Malaysia. I confused with the timing. I thought was 1 hour earlier, 9 o'clock. So I was here since 8 o'clock in Malaysia time. Okay. So actually Surabaya is same timing with Malaysia. All right. And today purposely I wear Surabaya batik. Can you see my batik too? It's from Jember, right? Okay. So I'm going to talk about quality. How to make quality multimedia to enhance education process. I just readjust the title a bit. And my topic of discussion will be, I will be talking about definition of multimedia, the history of multimedia in education, and then the key design techniques in multimedia development, and then what makes an efficient visual design, and how to craft instructional videos, because now everyone is into videos, and how multimedia can enhance learning into quality education. Okay, so these are my books that I've written years back ago. I think I was the first author in Malaysia to write multimedia dalam pendidikan. Okay, and this asas-asas multimedia dalam pendidikan was written in year 2000, and then followed by 2002. Every 2 years, I produce a book in multimedia in education in Malay. So 2002 was multimedia dalam pendidikan. 2004 and 5 is teknologi pengajaran, and the last was internet dalam pendidikan. That was around 2007 and 8. Then later on, I moved into English books already, because at that time we are supposed to teach everything in Bahasa Melayu or Bahasa Malaysia. But now, since globalization and internationalization, all our courses are being taught in English now for more than 10 years already. So I start to reduce writing in Malay, but I think this book has been used throughout schools and secondary schools, and also in the colleges for teachers. Okay, then how you define multimedia in this 21st century era, when everybody talk about multimedia. Okay, so the name implies, when you see the word multi, is already pelbagai or many. It's an integration of multiple forms of media. Okay, so when you talk of multi, means pelbagai. I don't know in Philippines how you say multi in Philippines in Tagalog. Because Tagalog and Bahasa Melayu has nearly the same language, some of the languages. Okay, so we have the integration of text, graphics, audio, video, and animations. There are the 5 elements that is a must in multimedia. So it will allow people to communicate in digital or in print elements. So now most of us are into digital format already. We print no papers now. We save our paper, we save our tree now. So we are all going into green, into sustainability. So everything is in digital format. Okay, so the term digital is a very niche term now. We talk about digital education, digital media, all right, digital presentation. Then the combined use of several media will be the full motion video. So we have a multimedia presentation and also a multimedia software. And I think all of you have heard of old media versus new media. Those days before the internet arrived, we use old media. There is the TV, the radio, the newspaper, the magazines. Okay, so we used to listen to a lot of radio, and also we used to read newspaper. But nowadays, you'd see people buying no newspaper. The newspaper company is going to close. Everybody read online now. Okay, everybody read on the phone. Everybody read on the iPad and all that. So newspaper is going to be obsolete in no time. So as magazines also, people don't buy magazine like those days. We buy so many magazines. We waste money on buying magazines and all that. So these are all going into digital format, into e-magazines. So this is the new media. We call it digital media, online advertising, online streaming, social media, and all that. So most of us, I think in Indonesia, the most users of social media in the world, I think Facebook is the most account if you check on the internet. Okay. So today, multimedia might be defined as seamless digital integration of text. Seamless means it goes beyond the boundary, goes beyond the whole world. Okay, like now I'm talking to you, like I'm just next door to you only. Actually, you are in Indonesia, Surabaya, so far away from my place, and Philippines or in Vietnam. Okay, these are seamless digital integration. And then we have text, graphic, audio, animation, and we can control the interaction. So these are the new terms of defining multimedia in this 21st century. And then now the history of multimedia, like way back in the 60s, we have this program learning material where we develop a program, a material, and then in the 70s, we have this computer-aided instruction, we have computer-based training, we have you have heard of CAI, CAL, CBL, you know. And then after that, in the 80s, we come into the video disc material, and then we have all these video recorder, radio, computer graphics, and then in the 90s now all into DVDs, okay? And now slowly DVDs also going absolute already, no more DVDs already. Everything is in the cloud, everything is in the, you know, like YouTube and all that. So you don't need to use any DVD or even thumb drive or anything, okay? So these are the history of multimedia. Then when we talk about employability, I just like to put, if you are a graduate of if you take a multimedia course, so you can end up to be a graphic artist, a digital photographer. You can be also an instructional designer, which is very important because instructional designer helps you to design your program in a very systematic and in a very easeful way, okay? And then production assistant, desktop publisher, and others. So for a bachelor degree, you can take, for students, you can take out as interactive media, website designer, electronic imaging, introductory to photography, animations, graphic design, digital editing, or a programmer also, okay? So these are all the courses for employability, which is very high demand now, okay? So you will never lose, you will never find that you cannot find a job because now anything is in digital format. So if you are a good designer, you can make money making like a newsletter or even a wedding card or even a name card or whatever. So you can make money online now easily if you are into this field. And how you want to be a good quality design multimedia developer, you always remember this formula, ADDIE. ADDIE means you have to analyze first, then you go to design, develop, then you implement or you test, and then you evaluate or you deploy, okay? So actually this model here, I didn't put the ADDIE, but I just take from here. It says that you have to analyze the problem first. So whatever you do, like just now, the professor from Philippines, he says that everything must relate to the vision and mission of the university. You have to relate to the learning outcomes of the program itself. So everything will be aligned to the learning outcomes or the learning objectives of the course. So you have to see what are the problems that is being taken care, okay? And then you design the program, okay? You design, so you will have a good storyboard or you have a good flow chart first. So you will design it nicely, plan it nicely, then only you will develop. Once you develop, you can use all sorts of tools that you have now in multimedia, okay? So you can use all the free tools now, open access tools. You can use like social media tools, okay? Then you test it out. You can do a pilot test or a beta testing, and then after that you evaluate, or you can run a survey, or you can test the effectiveness of your program. So these are the basic quality assurance of multimedia. That is, we have to use this model, ADDIE. It is analyze, design, develop, implement, and evaluate. Okay. So what makes this efficient visual design? When we talk about visual design, we see sometimes the PowerPoint or sometimes the layout is very crowded, not balanced and all that. So that's why I like to share with you all. You have to make a very effective and efficient visual design by making it aesthetic appeal, make it look nice, ease of your eyes will be pleasing to look, not overcrowded, okay? And the color contrast is also good. So you want to see and you want to see some more. You don't want to see and you say that, oh, it's too messy, it make you headache. or you get lost in that page. You don't know where to go after that. The link is lost, the hyperlink is lost. Okay, so these are the things that you have to see about the usability, the suitable images, the typography, the space, the layout, and the color. So this is called visual design, okay, to make it more aesthetic. So these are the elements that you have to look into it. That is the lines, the shapes, the space, the volume, the value, the color, and the texture. So why I say about space, because sometimes you can see the PowerPoint is too crowded, too many text, and the texts are too small, so you cannot read properly the text. So you see my slides, I don't put too many text except for this one because I want to explain a little bit. And you see my text is sans serif, it's not serif. This is like Arial font, and it's about 14 to 16 for the body text. Okay, so you can read nicely without disturbing. Okay, like here, the white space is very important, and the colors is also very important. It should be a contrast color. It should be, let's say, black against white. It cannot be red against black, or it cannot be light blue against light green. So the color cannot be, cannot be the same color of lightness and lightness. So it should be a contrast color where you can make the people look at your slides and they want to see some more, or anything, or poster or whatever, newsletter. Then you can see the principles of unity, the Gestalt theory, where you can interpret the design properly. There is some principles that you always say a picture tells 1,000 words. So you don't need to put words there. Just by looking at the picture itself, you can interpret already. That is called the Gestalt theory. Okay, you can interpret the design. Maybe some people, they have different background, they interpret differently, and some people interpret differently. So then you must have a hierarchy, balance, contrast, scales, and dominance. So these are the principles of effective visual design of a quality multimedia presentation. So you must look into unity, where it must be harmony, it must be pleasing to your eyes. When you see something, you want to see some more, like I said. And it must be balanced. If you start with one side of the slides, make sure everything should be the uniform, the button, the font size, the color, everything should be balanced. Sometimes my students say to me, very boring, same throughout all the slides. But that is the principle, that it should be the same throughout. It cannot be one page a different font, another page another different font, another page another different font, different button. It cannot be like that in a multimedia redesign. So if you want to take care of the quality, it should follow this principle of visual design. It should be balanced, it should contrast, it should be dominance. Dominance means here, dominance, like what I said, the object, the size, color, and everything should be the same. It can be boring, but this is the principle, okay? So that you are not confused, like little while Arial, little while Times New Roman, little while sans serif, okay? And then after that, like here, unity, all the same. And this is lack of unity, where this is not in uniform. So you go haywire, chaos, lintang pukang, orang Melayu kata. And then this is balance, where if you start like this, so make sure everything will fall into place like this, balance. Okay, and then this is unbalanced. And then this is a clear distinction between the two sections when this is not clear. Okay, so make sure your slides are not overcrowded, and it should be balanced and it should be clear. Okay, next. The next title, I like to talk about videos, because every one of us watch video or create video nowadays. So in 2013, you can see that 53% are watching 2 or more instructional videos per week. But I think now in 2020, since the lockdown of pandemic COVID-19, I think everybody is on the video throughout 24 hours. So the video is like more than 2 times per week, every day. I think every minute, not once a week or 1 to 3 times. Okay, so this is a bit old, but I couldn't get the latest one. And then this is about the length of videos that you want to do. So don't make videos which is too long, okay? Which is the most, like you can see 3 to 4 minutes or 5 to 6 minutes is the longest video that you can produce. So if you want to do a video for your student, the most length or the time frame for you to make a video recording is 5 to 6 minutes only. That is all. They cannot grab attention or pay attention to your video if it is too long, okay? And nobody is going to watch a long video also. So for instructional video, you must make at least from 3 to 4 to 6 minutes. You can see the charts here, okay? So tips for creating a good instructional video is how you want to do a video for a newcomer. The most important thing is design, that is script. You have to write a script first. You have to do a script first. You cannot just go in and bang, 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 and take a camera and start recording. You cannot, okay? Then you have to do a storyboard plan to your content, okay? A storyboard, you have to do a storyboard of your content, papan cerita, okay? And then focus your video on one single topic only with a single objective. So you cannot do too many things into one video. So make it short, sweet, and simple. Then consider organizing your topic on one topic, make it short information. For longer videos, create table of contents. Okay. So this one I got it from here. And you can see that these are the videos length, that is 3 to 4 minutes. 10 to 90 minutes is a little bit too long, but I think the most is 3 to 4 or 5 to 6 minutes. I encourage you all. So you can see why multimedia is very important nowadays in this 21st century, because if you do lecture alone, the students can only grasp 5% of what you are talking about in front of the classroom. If you do reading, only 10%. If you do audio visual, 20%. If you do some demonstration, it's about 30%. 50% discussion. Practice doing about 75%. But if you teach others doing something else, integrate all the 5 elements of multimedia, they can at least grasp the learning about 90%. So you can see that when it involves everybody, the learning takes place better. Or when you work in peers or you collaborate with each other in group project, you will see that they learn better rather than individual assignment, okay? So nowadays, mostly assignment will be one individual and one mostly in group. So you encourage a simple project, make it individual one, and then the other project will be mostly in 3 or 4 people in one group of assignment, okay? So you don't, nowadays the trend is not individual already. Mostly is how they work together, because sometimes the students find it difficult to work with another student. So this is the time where you train students to work together. There are very passive students that they don't know how to work with each other. So this is the time in the university you train them to work together before they go out to the real world, okay? And lastly, if you tell me, I forget. If you teach me, I remember. If you involve me, I will learn. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you for the Associate Professor Dr. Rosina Jamaluddin. For the participant who has questions about the first speakers, please write your questions in the chat room. So I will read all the questions after all 3 speakers have present the topics. Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our second presenter, Associate Professor Dr. Lin Giang. She will deliver a presentation entitled with proposing a set of quality assurance standards in online. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Associate Professor Dr. Lin Giang. Time is yours. Please.
Yes. Hi, everyone. Today I will present my topic, proposing a set of quality assurance standard in online training. I'm from Ho Chi Minh City of University of Food Industry. So Now, I have a problem. My laptop has not connect Wi-Fi. Is very unstable. So I hope Professor Rosina, you can help me. I will share. I will share, but if have problem, you help me share my PowerPoint. Yeah. Yeah, you can see here.
Yes, we can see your PowerPoint.
Thank you so much. Hi everyone. Today I will present a quality assurance standard in online training now in COVID, and is convenient to apply. And but we have a warranty assurance standard. You can um, you can have many adventure. The first I will introduce. The second research objective, little review. Um, we propose a model of quality assurance in online training, and we use many methodology. And after that, we resolve and discuss conclusion and reference. Yeah, Vietnam education today is assessed in a career of competitive economy, interaction on the power of knowledge, information society, and intellectual civilization. The use of information technology in teaching requires teachers and learners to interact smoothly to achieve the purpose of teaching and learning uh, with high efficiency. Efficiency. Yeah, I'm sorry. Is uh, my Wi-Fi is unstable. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah, Professor Rosina, you can help me. You can share my PowerPoint.
Oh, sorry, Dr. Liti Lin. Maybe our host maybe can help you
Yeah,
to.
thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, you can send it a slide 4. Slide 4. Yes. Yeah, you turn one slide. Yeah, the study was conducted based on an overview of issue related to online training, a basis of for building quality assurance factor in online training, and proposing criteria of for evaluating online teaching and learning. Teaching and learning activity to improve the quality of online training. And we literature review. When develop a program based on learning outcome approach, the training is an activity that follow the learning outcome. The learning outcome. At that time, the program is tuned to convey the output standard. Teaching and learning is the activity of conveys the learning outcome, and student assessment is activity to assess how well the learner meet the learning outcome. Yeah, you can come back slide 5. Yes. Yeah. Wait. No. Literature review, not result. You can come back slide 5. Yeah. Yes, that's right. Yeah, thank you. Johnson Ongibin was given innovation innovation oriented education from 1 to education 4. Liz and Tuben in 2002 consider that the overall success of e-learning depends on evaluations status of quality within an integrated program. So we overview and we through the review of related study, we propose a modern quality assurance standard in online training and input e-learning outcome. Input e-learning outcome and output achieve of learning outcome and many factor of quality in online training such as manager, administration, academic and support staff, curriculum, learning resource, teaching and learning activity, student assessment, and finally the finally factor technology and software. Yeah. After we this study, we use combine the document analyze and survey to identify the relationship between the general standard. We carry out in the 3-step process. Step 1, overview the study related to quality assurance in online training to build research model and draft standard for evaluating quality assurance activity in online training. And this model is on screen, and you can see it. After that, we used a survey participants from 34 experts from some university in Vietnam on the suitability of the criteria in the set of a standard for evaluating the quality activity in online training. And after that, we propose a set of standard for evaluating quality assurance activity in online training, and we use quality assurance standard for teaching and learning in online. Yeah, you can go to next. We propose a graph set standard for evaluating quality assurance activity in online training. The first in technology and software for online, and the second for online teaching and learning curriculum, and include 6 criteria. And the second standard, the third standard for online teaching and learning activity, and include 8 criteria. The standard on quality assurance online student assessment activity include 7 criteria, and academic and support staff for online teaching and learning includes 7 criteria. The standard quality assurance on manager and administration of online teaching and learning activity include 6 criteria. Now, you, Professor Rosina, you can next slide 8. Yeah, you can have. Yes, that's right. Yeah, thank you so much. Um, from criteria, we use a right number after standard. Yeah, you can see. And we after that, in step 2, we conducted a survey of 34 experts at some university in Vietnam, based on a questionnaire with 50 questions, and on a 5-point scale, Likert scale. One is completely unnecessary, and the highest is 5, completely necessary. And after that, we analyze, and we use we 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 analyze, and we give mean of general standard in the next slide. Yeah. For in 7 standard, we use standard on teaching and learning curriculum. It has mean is the highest, 4.71. Yeah, it's a very high. And the lowest is standard 5 on for academic and support staff. Yeah, 4.35. Yeah. After we use the response from the survey, we cross and enter into the SPSS software and check the reliability use PERBANAS alpha and EFA. You can next slide. Yeah. But in we use PERBANAS alpha ranking from 0.73 to 0.94. It's very high, and it's good. And correct correlation estimate of a total number of correct items range from 0.4 to 0.7. And also show a good correlation between variables. The result of the reliability analysis of scale show that all 7 scales have a good reliability fluctuating in integrand 0.846 to 0.922, and with time variable are observed. Yes. After we observe, we have 45 questions on 7 scale related to quality assurance standard in online training. These reliability are included in the evaluation of research converse level by EFA. UEFA factor analyze method with 45 observed variable or 45 criteria to evaluate quality assurance standard in online training. Yeah, you can make too. And new general standard quality activity in online training after analyzing. Number 1, quality assurance on management and administration online teaching and learning activity. Number 2, quality on teaching and assessment in organization, teaching and learning online. 3, quality assurance for online curriculum. Yeah. 4, quality on supporting activity in organization, online teaching and learning. 5, quality assurance of academic staff in online teaching and learning. 6, quality on technology infrastructure. And 7, quality on technology pedagogy in organization, online teaching and learning. Yeah, you can next slide for me. And for each standard, we give many criteria for it. This is a basis where teacher and learner can use them to control activity on online teaching and learning. Yeah, for example, quality on manage and administration for online teaching and activity. We have 7 criteria. The course guides it clearly describes specific, updated, regular, and disseminated to stakeholders throughout the course. The second, complete and update to display of the curriculum which identify online training methods is published, available and easy accessible. The third, syllabus is well informed, updated, published, and easier accessible. Fourth, the structure of curriculum is streamlined, meeting a variety of online learners. And the fifth, expectation for achieve the learning outcome level of the course, and this and mean to stakeholder. Our relationship between the learning objective and the learner competency and the learning activity of the learner should be clearly and stable. And the final, there is enough question and exercise bank. I think it's very important for subject to teach, to learn, and test online. And now, quality on technology infrastructure in organization, online teaching and learning. For information technology infrastructure is periodically evaluated as a basis for addressing and better meet training activity. Network via and service infrastructure meets online training requirements, and the software system meets and requirements of training and management activity. Yes, and the third, quality on technology pedagogy in organizing online teaching and learning. We propose 4 criteria such as internet connect, ensure speed, number of student nurse access, and a full recommended to use. Other costs provide learner with right privacy policy and software use regulation during the learner process. And the multimedia course design is easy to use and you to read, intuitive, and ensure the course objective. And finally, there are many digital tools used in the course to support core objective and develop learner competency. And last report, Professor Rosina has role of multimedia for teaching and learning. Therefore, quality on teaching and assessment in organizing teaching and learning online. We propose 4 criteria. Student assess activity of learner and design and implement in accordance with online training methods and according to learner outcome. The evaluation on examination and evaluation of learner result are clear and publicly notified to learner. Test result and feedback, I think, is very important. Is a remote provide for learner to improve for their learner, and the course provide learner with many opportunity to track their learning process with time feedback. And the second standard on academic. Yeah. Yeah, you can use, you can next slide. Yes. The next standard quality on supporting activity, and this standard is the fifth when we rank mean from 1 to 5, and we roll 5 criteria. This for an updates online training material are available to learner at the beginning of the course. The library ensure a variety of rich and up-to-date scientific learning and research material, ensuring copyright and easy access. Online training material are built to suit with the curriculum meet and the learning outcome. Mapping, I think it's they map together and learner competency. The support staff competency require determined in accordance with online training and make publicly available. And then finally, criteria in planning, recruiting and using support staff, working in library, information, technology system, etc. Carry out appropriately and effectively to meet the needs for online training, scientific research, and community service activity. Yes, that's a fine standard. And the next sixth standard, we quality on management and administration of online teaching and learning activity, and we rubber five criteria. The content of the curriculum is designed to ensure that learning outcome are met and which the level of each subject. The plan of interaction between the teacher and learner during the course should be clearly stated, and the mission is from beginning of the course. Is easy for learner to make the plan for all the course. The plan for implementing an online curriculum is developed annual in accordance with the university developed strategies. The relationship between the use of time of in the instruction material and the finally ensure financial resource and plan to invest the develop of online curriculum and implement condition. Yeah, it's the quality assurance on manager and administration of online teaching and learning. And finally, we use the next slide. And finally, we use a standard on quality assurance of manager and administration online. Yes, and we use Romac Alpha and EFA after we introduce for yourself. And finally, standard quality assurance of academic staff in online teaching and learning. And in this, the mean of standard is very high. The competency required academic staff are determined in accordance with online training methods and are publicly disseminated. The competency, quality, and workload of lecturer and researcher are parents evaluated as a basic improve the quality of training, scientific research, community service activity. Yeah, I'm sorry, Professor Brosina, you can next line. Yes. Yeah, thank you so much. Academic staff are trained and forced in knowledge, working still, teaching and research during online training. Learner easy access, learning easy access to complain brochures about the test result. The test result. There is a module for monitoring and publicly evaluating the competency and work quality of academic staff is a basis for evaluation of emulating, motivating, and supporting activity. And finally, the planning and employment of academic staff have been carried out appropriately and effectively to meet the demand of online training, scientific research, and communicating service activity. My reason is introduce a standard of quality assurance activity on teaching and learning online. The study have a system, relevant document and propose a model of the factor related to quality assurance in online training and present a sense of quality assurance standard in online training within 7 standards and 45 criteria being analyzed by statistical methods to ensure reliability, validity, and statistical signification. Thank you for your listening, and I hope I can share my idea for everyone. I hope you have many success and healthy. That's all.
Okay, thank you for Dr. Lee Thi Lin Kiang from the Vietnam. Thank you for the nice presentations. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our third presenter is Associate Professor Dr. Juari. He will deliver a presentation entitled Education System and the Service in the TQM Perspective. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Associate Professor Dr. Juari. Time is yours.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for the time. Now this is the last. My topic is education system and services in TPM perspective. This is more specific compared to the other topics here, especially in the first by the Dr. PASCASARJANA and the second. Yeah. Right. So if we look at this transparency, let's stop to the next one. It is about the education system and also services in TPM perspective. Why I have to talk about services? Because service in education is very sensitive, and we have to manage this, product of education very delicately and gently, because this is related to the quality that is also presented by Dr. PASCASARJANA. We have 4, that is purposive, and then exceptional, transformative, and accountable. Now, this is the the education system in general. If we talk about education in general, then we have this kind of only input, then process, and then output. And then from the input, we have already known what kind of services that we have to produce, and these are the kinds of services that we have to discuss after this. And then during the process, so before, and then during and after, we have also some processes, and all of the processes, each of them also produce service. And also the last one, we call it an output, and that is why this is the concept of very general about the system of education. Now, I just got it from the glossary, why I like to talk about the terms. So the term education system refers to public schooling, not private schooling, and more commonly to kindergarten through high school programs. And school or school districts are typically the small recognizers for education system, and countries are the largest. So from the remote areas, the villages, to the cities, and into national. But if we have global universities, then it will be global. Why I have to talk about education and the types? Yeah. We have formal education and informal education, and last one is the non-formal education. So formal education is like what we are now doing to do, and also in this conference here we talk lots about the formal education. We also have informal education, and the other one is non-formal education. I give the arrow on the top here because we are now working in the formal education. Now, education is not the learning of facts, but the training of mind to think. Why this philosophy should be emphasized in this discussion? Because most of us deal with this. Most of us deal with human beings that we process. Most of us dealing with the people that we have to process, and we deal with their minds rather than, especially when we talk about the term of quality that is called transformation or transformative quality, as stated by the first keynote speaker. We transform the students or our primary customers mentally rather than physically. And this is the education system in Indonesia. I believe that in different countries we also have different perspective of education system. We have preschool, and we have also elementary school, grade 1 until 6. In some countries up to 5 years. But in Indonesia we have class 1, kelas 2 until kelas 6 or 6, grade 6. And then we go to now grade 7. This is the junior high school. A long time ago it was called SMP, sekolah menengah pertama, that now we have class 7, class 8, class 9, or grade 7, 8, 9. And the next one is senior high school, that is SMA. We have grade 10, 11, 12, and therefore we have, in Indonesia, wajib belajar 12 hours, 12 years. And the last one year we got involved very much that is in a university or colleges. So all the services in each stage of this system are different, and therefore the services that we provide also different. This is about education system in Indonesia. If you live in Malaysia, you know the system in there, in the Philippines, and also in other countries, in Vietnam and around the world. And if we talk about TQM in education and psychological environment, so we have the history. A long time ago, it was inspection. Then we know the term quality control. What we have done very much is about detection, and then we have to concentrate on detection, the problem, detection, the mistakes, and so on and so forth. And now we are going to quality assurance that we have already discussed so far. And total quality management is dealing with everybody, continuous improvement, small but everywhere. It is not big, but only in a certain division or a certain department. Even though it is small, but this move together step by step everywhere, in every division. So if there is one division is left behind, while other division surpasses, then there is something wrong. So that is sadness into happiness. I describe the total.
Dua pendekatan ini harus dilakukan. Kalau mohon maaf kalau dalam Al-Quran.
Hello, somebody. Can you mute? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So this is the psychological environment, and if we talk, this is from Edward Salis, 2006 here. I think this book is still relevant. So from products and service standards to customer standards. If we talk about people and students or pupil, they will talk to us. If they can say or shout, they will shout that we are not products. So if we use or implement the management concept, still using the industry or product oriented, they will suffer from the process of teaching and learning. So we have to know about this concept, TQM, and the services. So what services we have to provide for them? This is customer standards, not the conformance to specification, from the fitness to purpose or and zero defect, right first time, every time. But we also have to go to customer satisfaction, exceeding customer expectation. That was spoken by Dr. Professor Sarjani with exceptional. Exceptional is the quality that we have to surpass, not only for the purpose dealing with the vision and mission of the college stated. And this is the another concept of services in the QM. And if we go to a further division about the customers, we have to know this. So service that we have to provide here have at least 4 types of customers. The first one is the primary external customers or client that are the learners or the student. The second one, we call it secondary external customers. They are parents, governors, employers. And tertiary external customers, labor market, government, society. In this case, we deal with accountability. So tertiary external customers here, if we talk about the management, we have to deal with the accountability, the quality that we have to be accountable. That was also spoken by Professor Sarjani in the last one of the types of the quality. And we have internal customers, the teachers and support staff. everybody, all the participants, the last one, internal customers services here are the key to the whole of the above. If the internal customers is the best, then tertiary, secondary, and primary will follow the best. So this is the concept. If we don't know about this concept, that it is very dangerous, because primary customers, secondary customers, tertiary customers, all the qualities depend on the internal customers. So we have the internal customers. Now let's talk about this one. If we talk about internal customers, we will have the three types of university, three types of organization, three types of colleges, or three types of schools. Now, number one, you know, if we talk about ER, for ER, that was introduced by Professor Dr. Catalino Mendoza, that in the Philippines, all the education system directed to mostly the 4ER industries. So the 4 industries revolution, that is the ERUs. The ERUs outside is the ERUs dealing with the environment. If that is the direction of the environment, the organization number one is the worst organization, is the worst college, is the worst university. So everybody in the organization do not know the environment development. They do not know the environment both locally, regionally, nationally, and even globally. If that is the case, then the surface that is produced will result in the picture that is crying. The second one, better but still bad. You know, on the top, all of the leaders have already recognized that the direction is good. The direction is already following the environment. Whether the environment it is national environment or the global environment, the leaders know it, and they go together. Unfortunately, the support staff in the universities, faculties, administrators, and so on, do not know partially. And the result of the survey that is produced will be half smiling. And ladies and gentlemen, the best one is the last. If we have this one, organization, internal organization, all have the same vision and mission and understood all the development of the environment locally, nationally, and globally. This is the best one. So the environment, if we go to the, you know, the concept spoken by Dr. Catalino about the 4ER, then we have to go together, and understanding this needs some very technical and even professional, but based on conceptual, the good and the right concept in management, especially in education. This is, yeah, you know, about service. Thus, yeah, internal customers service quality is the key to external customer service quality. And therefore, the first step is, yes, of course, we have to understand our vision, mission, we have to understand every department, we have to understand everybody, we have to understand what we have to be in our own organization. Then we define every department, we define ourselves, then we collaborate together. If we are helping each other to see which one is left behind, then we have tried to go to our the department or division that are still left behind. We have to go there to help. In this case, there must be, we call it internal benchmarking. For example, if division A, division B, division C, division and so on, for example, division B is superior, who surpasses the other division. If there is this kind of very superior division, the best, then other division should benchmark, or the superior division should distribute or communicate their culture in that division to other division in order there is an incremental improvement, that is continuous improvement as the culture of total quality management. And in this case, if we have done like this internally, then if we help each other friendly and also with the best helpful concept, then I believe we can achieve the last organization at the bottom, both internal and the environment having the same direction of the arrows. If that is the case, what processes we do is always the best, and the product of the services we provide, even though from the beginning in the input of the system of the education, from input, the process and the output will be the best quality. And if that is the case, then we do not only achieve the quality of the purposeful quality of vision and mission, but also exceptional quality that is surpasses beyond our vision and mission of the college. And then transformation, we deal with the students or our people, that we process in our organization. In that case, we produce the best output, the best graduate, then we will also be accountable. That is related to the quality of accountable quality as discussed by Professor Dr. PASCASARJANA in the previous session. So that is the concept of the services dealing with the organization in education, and I hope that we can also discuss after this conceptually, but I believe if we have the concept of total quality management in education related to services, that we have to concentrate on the key that internal customers is the start and the key to produce the best services for our primary school, primary customers, secondary customers, and tertiary customers. That's all, everybody, and thank you very much for your attention.
Okay, thank you for the three presenters that have all present the topics today. So there is some questions that I will read in the chat room. The first one questions is from Mr. Eranus Yoga Kundani, from Satya Wacana Christian University. There is three questions for the three speakers. The first one is if the university has designed the best learning management system, will this guarantee the quality of graduates? And the second one is based on the experience of each university, how to encourage students to really learn from home, especially during the current COVID-19 pandemic. And the third question is how to overcome the scarcity of internet networks faced by some students. So there is three questions for the three speakers. So maybe I read for the first participants. So please, I think Dr. Rosima will answer first, and then the next is Dr. Liti Lingyang, and then the last is Dr. Juari. Please, all the speakers, can you have some answer for the first questions. Dr. Rosina, that you have to mute your speakers. Please unmute.
Yeah, hang on.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. I think I have answers to all the three questions. It's not a big issue after this pandemic, COVID. I think from abnormal become normal now. There is everything that cannot be done can be done now. Okay, so with this LMS, the learning management system, last time is only one-way interaction. That means the lecturers always upload their PowerPoint or their PDF file, and they expect the students to read and they become bored. So what we should do is we must have three ways interaction. The lecturers with the student with the student, and the student with the content, or up to the world, to anywhere, globally. So the LMS must have these three types of interaction, not just one interaction, one way only, And then the second question, how to encourage students during this COVID time. I have 10 tips for the lecturers. That is, I already typed the 10 tips there here. That is, the first one, the lecturer itself must be motivated and passionate and energy to talk to the student. Don't the lecturer come in very tired looking and then make the student feel so tired also. And then the second tip is they encourage the students to interact with individual, and then talk to the students individually or group, or make into a chat group, or you support the students, encourage them. Always throw questions to them, give them tasks to do every week. So you check on them. And then you give a summary, or you give points or incentive to them, give a badge or give points, or make a leaderboard, like gamification like that, so that they challenge among each other. Then they are motivated, they want to win, and then you review their feedback. Lastly, the third question asked was if no internet. Actually, it's not a problem. If it is no internet, this online learning, remote learning is not just using the webinar or Zoom or Skype or whatever. It can be asynchronous also, like just now I told you all, the old media and the new media. So it can be asynchronous. That means you can send in notes, or you can print out papers or books or any newsletter or any printed materials and send it. Modules, like those days we have online learning through modules, not through video conferencing or what. So there are questions asked for me, very remote area, remote school that I got no internet. So what you can do is you print out modules and you send to them only. That's the only way. If really remote, there is no internet at all. That's my answer. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Rosina Jamaluddin. And the next speaker, please have answer the first questions, Dr. Liti Linjiang. Maybe I read again about the questions. The first question is about if the university has designed the best learning management system, will this guarantee the quality of graduates? And the second one is based on experience at each university, how to encourage students to really learn from home, especially during the current COVID-19 pandemic. And the third is how to overcome the scarcity of internet networks faced by some students. Okay. Pak Juari, that you have to mute your.
Yes. Jianji, are you going to Dr. Jian?
Yes, I hear.
Are you going to answer?
Yes, I think a standard of quality assurance in technology and software, and as quality curriculum is very important, and teaching and learning activity when on the online um, in teaching and learning online. And the next is student assessment activity. And I had an idea. And I teach academic and support staff is are very important for teaching and learning online. And besides learning material in online teaching and learning is very important for learner to online learning. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Please, Dr. Juari.
Yeah, how about if the a certain university or college have already adopted a certain body of the accreditation or quality? Well, I think we are, especially the owner or the people or the organization that knows much about the needs of their students and also the environment. So if we know that every body of accreditation or status or management system, the quality body has different. For example, if we have to learn about Malcolm, and also we have a QAA for Australia, and also PS standard in British, they have their own emphasis. For example, if the British standard, yeah, maybe in the percentage or the percent of the emphasis is on the human resources. And then, for example, if the quality assurance of Australia, maybe the emphasis is on the certain part of the, not only the honor, but also the process and so on and so forth. But if we know this, then we have to analyze by doing our, what we call, self-study. What we call is a self-evaluation by doing the SWOT analysis. Based on that SWOT analysis, then we can also adopt which one of the weaknesses that most we have, and we try to adopt the accreditation body of a certain quality assurance that provide that kind of emphasis. Actually, this is in a global more about PQM, but in my topic is about services and how to encourage the students. This is related to the services that we provide to the student during the process. As I told you that there are three kind of the providing the services. So before, after, during, and after. Before is in the input, and during in the process, and after in the output. How to encourage the student, for example, to be engaged in the learning and process and so on. That this is our process of providing the services. How to design, for example, as presented by Dr. Rasina Kamaludin, the key design of the key design of teaching tactics here in multimedia is also good for us to discuss for that. So that is how to encourage the students in order they can get engaged in our process of learning and teaching. Thank you.
Thank you thank you, Professor. And I think the most important to control the teaching and learning online is how to control and quality assurance before, after, and during in online training. And we have a new general, standard to control many activities in online training. Yes, thank you so much.
Welcome.
Okay, thank you for all speakers. There is a second. The second question is from the Mr. Sujatmiko from the Jakarta. The question is how to measure performance in higher education. Maybe there is a practice in Malaysia or in the Vietnam. And how about the indicator of the performance in higher educations? Maybe Dr. Rosina Jamaluddin first to answer how about the measure performance in the higher education and the indicator? Please.
Okay. Actually, I'm going to talk this for next on the 15th. There's another conference on quality assurance for ODL. You know.
Yeah.
So in Malaysia, we have this Malaysian Qualification Agency. We have 8 areas that we have to look into it. You know. So I will talk about this later. I'm not really prepared yet. And what is the next question? Sorry.
The indicator of measure performance in the higher educations.
For student or for lecturers?
This is for This is for the institutions.
Oh, for the institutions.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a lot of KPIs. Oh, too many.
Yeah. KPIs for the institutions in the higher educations.
Too many KPIs. Everyone must produce a journal, impact factor journal, Scopus journal, and all that. So that is really torturing everyone, I think. Not just Malaysia only, I think the whole world. I think even now I'm working with Australia also, they have to produce this A ranking journal, you know. So if not, they will be bombarded out from the university. They will be asked to leave the university. It's that serious, you know. So if you didn't cannot fulfill your KPI, you will be sacked, especially with this COVID-19. So the income of the university is less. So it's very risky for all lecturers, you know. So I think publication is the most important for all lecturers, for every institution. So publication and research is the most important thing. So if you don't have publication and research, that means you are not an academic, you know. Besides teaching is a normal thing that you have to do all the time. But the most important thing is publication and research. And then last time we used to talk a lot about consultation, training, which I do a lot, and then community engagement and all that. That come under second, not so important really. It's also important, but I don't know why it looks, the publication for high impact journal is so serious now. That's it.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Rosina. And this the second speaker. How about the measure the performance in the higher education and the indicator of performance in higher education? So it's mean that how about the KPI for the institution, especially in the higher educations. Yes, please, Dr. Litin Lin Kiang. You can answer the second question.
In the quality assurance activity include external external quality assurance and internal. Yes, I think it's the same in Malaysia. And we have many activity to quality assurance to make how to learner achieve learning outcome when they study in we have many standard for input, our process and output for many in university. And I think two kinds of quality assurance, external and internal, for many university. Yes, I think that's all.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Litin Lin Kiang. Maybe for the Dr. Chuari have answer about the performance in the higher educations.
Yes, thank you. Well, among the countries different, but I know in Indonesia, we have to talk about the legal aspect. Number one is we talk about Undang-Undang Guru and Dosen, that is the Act of Teachers and Lecturers in Indonesia, number 14, 2005. The second one from this Undang-Undang, then we have to talk into the education system. And we have the system of education, Pendidikan Nasional, the Act of number 2023, 2003. And in this kind of legal, then we have the Kepmen, peraturan pemerintah. So in Indonesia, in higher education, at least we have 9 standards, if I'm not mistaken. The first one, we have commitment and so on over the leadership, and also we have the human resources, we have the budget and so on, and also from the student and also from the aspect of the student and also from the aspect of research and community services. So there are 9 standards. In this case, this is how to measure. So that are the standards that we have to measure. There are some of the standards already stipulated in that case, and therefore in Indonesia, based on that kind of standard. For example, if we talk about the output of the students, for example, about the length of how they are employed, how long they are employed as an outcome after they have finished, then they can get the job. And this is how long, whether this is 3 months after the graduate, they can get the job, or after 4 months or 5 months and so on. This is one of the example of the key indicator answering the last question. So there are the standard that we have to be stipulated, but in this case we have to talk about legal in our country. In Philippines, I believe we have we got Commission of Higher Education. In Malaysia, we have also this legal aspect should be followed by us in our country. And from that, we have to break down into university based on our vision and mission. So in Indonesia, there are about nine standards. Yeah. And the key indicators are already stipulated. And I believe in this case, Dr. Luciana Sitika Amelia already known about all of these indicators and key indicators of KPI. Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you for all the speakers. Because there is no questions in the chat room, so I will have questions for the 3 speakers, because there is differences about the online and offline assessment for the students. So because there is a different method in the online and offline in the education process. So how to make some better assessment for the students for the online method. So maybe for the Dr. Rosina and Dr. Lin Kiang have give us some example, the implementation of student assessment, for example, in online teaching.
Okay. For our university's experience during the COVID-19, all assessment were turned into coursework already. So my university didn't take anything online assessment on paper, no more already. So we convert everything into project, into coursework, and it's individual, so it's not group work already. So they have to do it individual, and it's a coursework is 100%. So because the trust of doing online assessment like in the Scandinavian countries is not there yet for Asian students. We are scared that they might cheat, or they might ask somebody to do, or because we don't have that technology, the camera everywhere to see them, And so we give them the full trust of doing coursework, convert assessment paper, online paper assessment to coursework. So that's what we will be doing in USM now. So 100% coursework instead of online paperwork. I went to these Scandinavian countries last year, to Norway, Finland, and all that. Their online assessment is 50-50. That is 50% communication and 50% written. So communication is also part of assessment. Communication like a viva, like a PhD viva, so they have to explain, they have to tell out their project, they have to do everything. It's a communication test, and it's considered, it's a given marks. And then communication is one, and also written exam online. But I hope our students are trustworthy enough, they don't cheat, That's the only thing that we cannot control. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Dr. Rosina. It is interesting. So for the assessment for the online learning, it's not only have do some projects, but maybe the communication with the students is important to know about the how about the students. Okay, for the next speakers, Dr. Litin Lin Kiang, please.
In my opinion, student assessment is online is very necessary, and we can use student assessment in online with if we have a bank with many questions and many exercise for students, and we can divide two kinds. The first is a process when a student study before, during, when they attend this course, and it has 50% for evaluate process, and finally final exam 50%. And I think it's good, and we can check and evaluate to achieve learning outcome that student get it. And we use test result and feedback online and provide for learner to improve their learning. Yeah, I think it's a very, very important when we organize in online training. And method of testing and evaluating result are designed to ensure value and reliability, accuracy, and objectivity. I think it's a very necessary for students because we can guess achievement, learning outcome of course. Therefore, I think we have a bank with good and reliability question and exercise for students on course before, after, and during when they online training. Yes, that's all.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Lee Tin Lin Kiang. So this is the answer is about the bank of the exercise. So it's made the students can do the much for the assessments. For the third speakers, maybe Dr. Juari, about the implementation of the student assessment activity in online teaching.
The student. I can hear. Sorry, I cannot hear the voice. No, I can hear.
For the how to measure the student assessment activities.
The student
assessment activities for the online training.
Or online training. That should be the topic related to the first speaker, that is about online, the key design on teaching in online, how to measure here. I think measuring the way how to measure their performance, the same as in ordinary. The difference is only the mode. The difference is only the mode. But we have already decided our objective. For example, in every subject, for example, if I'm teaching English, for example, the first one is that the students are able to write at least one paragraph per example. Now, if I teach the student how to write, for example, whether it is online or whether it is conventional, the same the result of that. Only the way through the means, the same of the online. But if we measure how to use the online process, that is not in the subject of English. It is related to the technology and also management related to infrastructures. But if you ask me how to measure the student process of assessment in the online system, the same. For example, as I give you the, if I teach a student how to write a paragraph in English, and then if I give the, the objective, the instructional objective that the student be able to write a paragraph correctly, grammatically, and so on. If they can write the paragraph is okay, then they achieve the learning objective. The learning outcome is already measured. But if you ask about how to measure the student online process, dealing with their performance and so on, that is dealing with the management, not dealing with how to teach the paragraph. Yeah, that is maybe the question, the answer, Dr. Lysiana, the moderator.
Okay, thank you for all the speakers. Okay, because there is no questions in the chat room, so I think is for the session is enough. So, ladies and gentlemen, finally we come to the end of the session. We would like to say thanks again for all the speakers for their informative and interesting talk, and to audience for the active participations. Hopefully the presentation will be beneficial for everybody. Thank you for your attentions, and I will give back the time to the MC.
Gugong, tolong kirim balik di WA.
Thank you, Dr. Luciana Speaker Amelia. Thank you so much for the keynote speakers and all of speakers for the insightful presentation. And ladies and gentlemen, we are now at the end of the event, but before we close our event, we will have a photo session once again. So please, Miss Aisha, to let the photo session.
Okay, so I'm just going to count in 3, 2, 1, and everyone just give your best smile as you can, right? So are you guys ready?
Wait.
With a thumbs up or not? Okay, let me count in 3, 2, 1, smile. Is it done?
Okay, that's enough, I think.
Okay, that's enough. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Dr. Jiandi. Thank you, Dr. Rasina.
Thank you for all the time to join us today.
Thank you all. Thank you, everybody.